And ATF all investigating after a Catholic church in North Wichita was vandalized and an American flag was burned. WPD says they were called to the St. Patrick Catholic Church in the 2000 block of North Arkansas for a report of a burglary shortly after 8:30 Saturday morning. Officers found extensive damage, including hate speech, spray painted on the church, and a burned American flag. Statues, candles, and glass at the church were also damaged. This took place while the church was empty, and police still looking for any suspects that were involved.
It's disgusting. Doesn't matter what denomination, any place of worship. People should feel safe there, and they should feel that it is a place that would be respected.
St. Patrick Catholic Church did cancel their Saturday afternoon Mass. The church has not announced if Mass will resume on Sunday. Now, anyone with information is advised to call 911 or Crime Stoppers at this number. It's 316-267-2111.